welcome back to the Now Morning Show. Our next conversation, I'll say a classic Monday piece, is the art exhibit series on Now in collaboration with the Art Society of Trinidad and Tobago. Joining us in studio is artist Patt Farrell-Frederick to share a little bit more about her journey and about the meaningful artwork that will be on set for the week. Good morning, Pat, and welcome.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago.
How are you doing this morning?
I am pretty good.
Yeah. Well, we're really grateful to have you here and looking forward to this conversation and learning a little bit more about the message behind your work.
Right.
But before we get into that, let's learn about you. So what first got you interested in art and creativity?
I think this was since I was young, very young. My parents never put me down about doing art and wanting to paint and wanting to do all of those things. As a matter of fact, they were the ones who bought me art supplies, and they were the ones who bought me paint by number. I used to do that, you know. And all of this is time before even acrylics were there, you know. I go back a long way, a long way. And so that kept my, I suppose it kept my interest up. We used to go down the islands, and I would just go out on the jetty and just early in the morning and just lay down and you know, and then draw and paint and so on. So I did a lot of that before I went into more using fabric, because I did my degree in clothing and textiles, which is very technical because it has to do with chemistry and so on. And after a while, I started thinking, you know what, I could change the way I'm doing things into art, the fabric into art, you know.
It's beautiful because one of the things that you shared there, we can see it resonating through your pieces as well, the fact that you always had this, let's say, oneness with nature. And we see it in the pieces. Really looking forward to getting into that conversation. But before we get to that, what do you enjoy the most about mixing all of these different mediums together?
I don't know. I just enjoy it. You know, it just brings a sense of peace and joy to me.
Right.
You know, when you say different media, you mean like
the fabric, and even found objects, which is quite fascinating.
Yes, because a lot of the pieces that I have there are really mixed media, but the base of it is fabric. You know, so I work with the fabric.
What about the found pieces? What inspired that? Well, I guess theme.
I think you mean the found objects.
Yes.
Yeah. I have a fascination about gathering things. I think I am a person who just hoards, maybe. You know. So whenever I see stones that look pretty, old earrings, all sorts of anything. You should see my house.
I can only imagine. I understand. I went on a hike the other day and I saw this leaf, and this leaf now belongs.
Yeah, leaves too. Yeah, things like that. All kinds of things that are you know, on the ground and so on. You know.
Do you think studying in Canada shaped your art?
No, at the time it was really fabric. It was really studying. You know, and then I had my first son there, and so that took up a lot of my time. So I don't think I really didn't do very much art in Canada when I was there. Yeah.
But you have taught for many years, though. Do you think that experience has influenced your art in any way over the years?
If I have taught?
Yeah.
Well, I taught textiles at John Donaldson Technical Institute, and if you think that, let me see, that influenced
your artwork
to a certain extent. It was like, I can't even remember, you know, it was like a morph into, you know, I'm teaching all of this technical stuff, you know, and how to do this with fabric and how to, you know, and so on. I have to change it into art. So it was somewhere along there, but I can't pinpoint.
Where do you normally get your inspiration from? Is there anything in particular?
Yeah, inspiration from nature, inspiration from looking at on the internet, things like Pinterest and that sort of thing like that, and looking at other artists who do fabric, who fabric art. Art actually is fabric collage.
So let's speak about one of the first pieces we have on set is a fabric collage. It's called Earth, the Center of the Universe.
That's correct.
What inspired this piece?
Well, that one was, I think sometime I was looking about Galileo.
Right.
And he was the one who said, who said that the earth was not the center of the earth, that the sun was the center of the earth. And he got a lot of flack for that. You know, they actually, I think they actually put him in prison or something like that. And, excuse me, my voice is good. So I got the earth in the center, and the sun is on the left-hand side, and the moon is on the right-hand side, if you can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seeing it here. And how many layers of fabric are on this piece?
Oh, gosh. Well, that is part of what I do. I layer so much, you know, because to get the effect, you know, and maybe about 4 or 5, or maybe even 6.
I'm noticing also that there are some pieces on there. I can't tell what the material is, but it looks to be some sort of maybe metal, or what is that? With these stars and, well, it looks like stars.
Yeah, there are little stars there, yes, probably from an old bracelet.
Okay, lovely. So let's go on to this next piece, which is, I mean, it's very deep, very meaningful, and a conversation that is going on around the globe right now. We've even seen governments actually come out and legislate on it. You are wearing plastic.
Yep.
What propelled you to create this piece?
That comes from my my teaching in textiles. Polyester. There's a test to test for whether you have a synthetic fabric or you have a natural fabric, and that's a burning test. So when you burn it, synthetic ones, they melt.
Yes.
You know, and they're quite dangerous actually. But I focused on polyester because 100% polyester, when it reaches landfills, because people throw away so much fabric, clothes now. When it reaches landfill, it takes like 100 years to deteriorate. No joke, you know. So I decided to do one that sort of brought this forward, you know, for people to understand that, because so many people don't know. And they are, not only that, all the nylon, the elastic ones, is synthetic. It's chemistry, pure chemistry.
So something that definitely needs to be shared, and it's interesting because something you learned today is, as you mentioned with textiles, one of the things you learn is the science behind it.
That's
and
right.
That is critical to understand and be aware of what's going on in the environment.
So that piece shows the burnt. A lot of those pieces they have burnt.
I'm seeing it around the edges.
Yeah, I deliberately burnt and put it all together.
Absolutely beautiful. I'm also seeing at the top there looks to be
labels.
Yes, these are labels.
Yeah.
All right, great.
And at the bottom, the little beads are actually the polyester before it gets passed through the spinneret to form the fibers.
So we're also getting a science lesson along with art this morning on the Young Morning Show. Let's go on to this next piece. This is when the sun turned green, correct?
That's when the
sun turned green.
Yeah, when the sun turned green. That is purely imaginary. You know, I don't know. Sometimes I just get these ideas in my head, and I decided that you know, if the sun was not red, what would happen? And most of the landscape, so-called, there is brown. Except for one strip of green across. You know, like we're going to hold on to our green, even if our sun turns green.
Of course.
You know, but if it turns green, we're going to get everything just going to go, you know, brown and different.
So again, so we're learning about science, we're also learning about mixing and matching colors as well and what can happen. So the final piece that we have on set, Pat, this is Trinbagonian, I would say. This is dry season bushfire.
Bushfire, yeah. Well, I live in Digger Martin. I face the hills.
Oh, gosh.
And the last dry season, you know, there was huge fires up in the hills, you know, and they look so beautiful, you know, but they're devastating, you know. And there was one very close to us, as a matter of fact, you know. And I just got it in my head, oh, gosh, you know, let me see, let me find fabric that's going to look like a bushfire. And I did, because I had this stash of fabric. I've used lots and lots of fabric. So instead of, and then I put paper maps of different parts of Trinidad. Top one is Tobago. The middle one is North Coast and wherever else, I can't remember. And the bottom one is Port of Spain.
Well, we're definitely going to investigate it as the week goes by, because the beauty of these pieces is because there are so many different layers and different mediums, there is even more of a story to tell. Pat, before we close our conversation, we just have a few moments left. Where can we get in contact with you to see more art?
Well, I am old foot, but you can get me on Instagram at Pat Farrell-Frederick. And easiest way, of course, is phone.
Wonderful. So we can get your contact information on Instagram, yes?
I think so.
Okay. Well, Pat, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And thank you for loaning us your artwork for the week. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you with us. This is the Now Morning Show. Stay tuned. There's more coming up on your Monday edition after this break. Wait.
I'm off.
I don't book my flight. Tell me friends and family.